I just officially launched my website this week. So if you want to check it out, it's momwifecareerlife.com. I've also linked it in the show notes. You'll see on my website, I now have a coaching page where I'm offering one to one coaching. If you feel you could use a little help with getting control of your time, I now have two coaching options available. First option is a one time management session where we'll go through your typical day. Then I help you find more time by cutting out those time wasters and creating efficiencies both at home and at work. We'll look at where you are struggling the most, and I'll help you build out a routine that includes time for self care. The second option I have now is a 4 session coaching package where we take a deeper dive into your values, and I teach you how to build your routines and schedules around what is truly important to you. I'll teach you how to say no to things you really don't want to do without feeling guilty, how to declutter your home because the state of your home is the state of your mind, and I'll help you become the best version of you. If this sounds like something you may be interested, check out my website for more information and book a session. I'm offering a big summer discount to help you mamas get your schedules in check before the school year starts up again, which is happening way too soon. So start putting yourself first because, as I always say, no mama can pour from an empty cup. We're just back from an amazing vacation visiting our best friends in Colorado. It's literally one of my favorite places to visit. And now that our besties live there, it's even more of a reason to go. If you live there or you're planning to visit and you've never seen a show at Red Rocks, I highly recommend it. If you follow me long enough, you'll hear about our love for the Aver Brothers. They are our favorite band. And one of our favorite date nights is going to see them in concert. We've actually built a couple of vacations around going to see them outside of the New York, New Jersey area. Which brings us to today's topic. I've talked about being a mom, I've talked about my career, and I've talked about my life. We're now 12 episodes in, so I figured today I'd talk about being a wife. And I can't be a wife without my amazing husband, Ross. We celebrated our date-iversary last week, as I call it, which is ironically on our son's birthday. We hit 22 years together. That's more than half of our lifetimes, which I think is pretty amazing. We have a great marriage, and it's because we take time to nurture our relationship. At a minimum, we try to do one date activity a month. Most months, it's actually more. In today's episode, I share some easy ways to sneak in some kids free one on one time to keep your relationship going strong. So let's jump into this week's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode, Mom Wife Career Life. Once you have kids, especially during the baby toddler years, it's really hard to break away and spend time with just the two of you, but it's so important. We try to make it a goal to have a date night at least once a month and go on a kids-free vacation at least once a year. The vacay thing is kind of hard for most people, but we're blessed to have my mom, who I thank God for every day. We actually call her Mary Poppins because I don't know how she does what she does, but she has helped raise all of her grandkids and she makes it look so easy. She watches our kids when we go away and just gives us the peace of mind that they're being cared for so that it's not something we really have to think about and we just can focus on us. The kids used to give us a hard time when we go away, but I always say to them, and now I'm saying it to you, kids grow up really fast. And for some reason, the older they get, the faster time seems to go. But soon enough, they will be out of the house and it will just be the two of you. And if you don't take time to nurture your relationship and keep that fire burning, then what's life going to be like when you're empty nesters? So you need to take the time to invest in your relationship and put effort into your marriage. Take time for yourselves. And again, it can be hard with kids, date nights, trying to get a sitter, being exhausted all day. But I'm here to tell you to get the concept of date night out of your heads. Your dates don't have to be at night. Some of our favorite dates together have actually been during the day. So I'm sharing some of our quick date ideas with you. Number one, grab a lunch while the kids are in school, or since it's summer, while they're in camp. In our hybrid working world, if there is a day when you're both working from home, sneak out for a lunch. You can go to your favorite local restaurant or even a picnic in the park. This is usually a Friday thing for us because Fridays, especially in the summer, tend to be a little quieter at work. Our town has some amazing restaurants, and we actually live walking distance to most of them. So we go out for a quick 45-minute lunch. We both have our work phones on us so we can check in on emails and respond to anything that is important. And if anything blows up, we're literally 5 minutes from home and can just pack up and go. Knock on wood, that hasn't happened yet. And I really just jinxed it. Number two, use one of those vacation days and take advantage of the kids being in school or in camp and just go somewhere together for a few hours. We actually did this on Juneteenth. The kids had school. We both had off. It was literally a unicorn of a day. I had actually planned a catch up day in my head. I was going to try to batch record some episodes since it's the summertime and we have a couple of vacation plans, work on my website, treat it basically like a work day. But then Russ said he wanted to go to the beach. And it's hard when you have it in your head how you're going to spend your time. And I knew that if I spent that day catching up on my side work, that I would have felt so good. But again, you need to nurture every area of your life. And I knew it was important to my husband. And I love the beach. So I made a compromise in my head. I brought my computer to the beach. I ended up taking it out for all of 15 minutes and then just gave in to being on the beach, kids free. And this is after being on the beach the day before with my kids, where I literally couldn't go 5 minutes without them asking me for something. On this day, I was just able to lie back, relax, enjoy the sounds of the ocean, and just enjoy being with Russ. We had a great lunch on the boardwalk. I had oysters, which I love, with a lobster roll, which I haven't had in years. It was a quick trip. We didn't even tell the kids we were going. And we plan to do that at least one more time this summer. We are blessed to live 40 minutes from the beach. That gives us a good 6 hours to get to the beach, relax with each other, grab lunch on the boardwalk, and then get home before the kids even know we had fun without them. Number three, just be outdoors. You don't have to spend money to go on a date. We learned this lesson early in our relationship back in college. We were both broke. It was our first real date. We drove into New York City in Russ's beat up, rust stained 1990 Caddy that I loved. It was a boat of a car. I remember looking over at him driving with his white baseball cap propped up on his head, one hand on the steering wheel, the other holding my hand. We didn't really have a plan. We were just going to walk around the city. We somehow ended up by Central Park and decided to go into the Plaza Hotel. Don't know who we thought we were. The only thing we could afford between us was literally a cup of coffee. And that's what we got. Two young 20-year-olds sitting in the plaza with a fancy cup of coffee with tiny bowl of sugar cubes. We spent that night walking around, just being in each other's company, and it truly is one of my favorite memories I have with him. So, again, you don't need to spend money, just be with each other. Number four, volunteer together. I know this doesn't sound very romantic, but giving back to your community together is something very special and very fulfilling. For my 40th birthday, it was during COVID. I wanted to spend the day volunteering, and I asked Russ to go with me. And we both worked at our local food pantry. He knew it was important to me, and it meant a lot to me that he joined me. Again, not very romantic, but every date doesn't have to be a romantic one. It's about spending quality time together. Number five, do a home project together, but make it fun. This is a productivity addict's dream, but it only works if you work together well. Paint a room, clean out your basement or your garage, put on music, have a drink, make a game out of it. Back in our first house, we decided to paint our dining room while drinking tequila. We were very young. And it wasn't until after we put on the first coat of paint and after a couple of shots in that we realized that we bought suede paint. And I don't know if you've ever used suede paint before, but not the easiest to work with. I didn't even know suede paint was a thing. And of course, we picked a crazy color. It was dark mauve. I don't know who we think we were. It was fun. I definitely don't recommend drinking while painting. But again, we were young and it was pre kids. So we made the most out of it. And now we have the memories and funny stories to share. Number 6, have a date night at home. Put the kids to bed, or if they're older, tell them they have to stay in their rooms and have a night with just the two of you. Russ is an amazing cook. He actually enjoys it, and I'm so grateful for that because I hate cooking. I cook, don't get me wrong, and I'm actually good at it, but I just really don't enjoy it. All of that time prepping and then cooking it, and then it takes literally 5 minutes for everyone to eat, and then the cleanup takes forever. But I will say, since COVID, we have been eating dinner almost every night as a family. So I love that aspect of it. Bit of a tangent. So, yeah, there are some nights where we will cook the kids dinner, let them eat, and go on their merry way. And then Russ will cook us a special dinner, usually a fish dish because I love fish, and it will be just the two of us. We might also just watch a movie, the two of us, and cuddle. And if you have littles, you can even do this during their nap time. Make a nice little meal for the two of you. You can prep it ahead of time, have a little picnic in your living room while you watch a movie. You can get creative. Number 7, start a hobby together. Find something that you both like to do, maybe gardening, exercising, an art class, music, whatever you have a similar interest in. We're both into music. Not sure if you consider going to concerts a hobby, but it's definitely up there on our favorite things to do together. I'm actually trying to get Russ to start exercising with me. Right now, my only real exercise is my morning walk, and then I try to lift a little weights when I'm on calls and don't have to share my camera. But I really want to get more into exercising, tighten up my wiggly bits, but I really need the extra motivation of someone with me. And what better motivation than my hubby? And finally, number 8, take a class together. A cooking class, an art class. We have a cooking school in our town that I'm looking to book a couple's cooking class at, even though Russ doesn't need it. But maybe if I learn to cook something fun, I'll start enjoying cooking more. Russ and I actually took a pottery class together in college. I was terrible at it, but he was actually great at the wheel and would help me with my pieces. And it felt like the scene from Ghost. So it can be pretty romantic if you try it out. So, those are some of the things that Russ and I do to spend quality time together. To recap, number 1, grab lunch while the kids are at school or can't. If you both work from home or happen to be home at the same time while the kids are not, grab a quick lunch together. Number 2, use a vacation day while the kids are at school or camp and do something together. I highly recommend a beach trip without kids. Number 3, just be outdoors. Go for a hike, a walk, drive to a new town and check it out. Be adventurous. Number 4, volunteer together. Give back to your community while spending quality time together. Number 5, do a home project together. Being productive while spending time together is a win-win. Just don't paint your dining room while drinking tequila. Number 6, have a date night at home. Make a special dinner for just the two of you or watch a movie without your kids. Number 7, start a hobby together. Exercising is a double bonus. There are so many things you could do as a couple. If you like to exercise, maybe go to the track, the gym, gardening, if your husband doesn't have bad allergies like mine does. Number 8, take a class together. Maybe even learn a new skill while you're at it. So those are our ideas, but if they're fun date ideas that you would like to share, head on over to our free Facebook community and share. I would love to hear from you. Check out the link in our show notes. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be forever grateful if you could take a minute, go over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on Instagram and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you would like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Easy ways to sneak in some kids-free one-on-one time to keep your relationship going strong.